Hi, everybody. Welcome again to Ivy English. I'm Bruce.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Wesley.
Well, we kick off this month, of course, on the 1st, November 1st, and this month we start with our vocabulary test. Number 1, the designer blank his design to the manufacturing company because he admired the company's high-quality standards and ethical production practices. The designer blank his design. Okay, now what would you do if you had your own design? And apparently he is taking it to a manufacturing company. That suggests he doesn't work there. He goes to this other place. And the reason he chose that company is because he believes it has high-quality standards. They don't produce junk. And ethical production practices. They are concerned, for example, about environmental factors in manufacturing production. Well, he's happy with his own design. That's not too surprising. Now, would he neglect, license, accuse, or enclose his design? Well, obviously, he wouldn't neglect his design. That's his baby, and that's how he's going to make his money. If you license something, you fill out paperwork with some government agency to show that it's something that you thought of. It's your design. That makes sense. You cannot accuse a design. You can accuse people. And you enclose his design to the manufacturing company? Odd at best. I would certainly choose B. The designer licensed his design to the manufacturing company because he admired the company's high-quality standards and ethical production practices.
OK, 我们看到这个题目，他说 The designer 就是这一个设计师，怎么样他的 design 他的设计给 manufacturing company 就是一个制造商。那为什么呢？因为他 admired 他很欣赏这一家公司的 high quality standards 就是高品质的标准，就是他们对于品质要求的高标准，还有他们这家公司的 ethical production practices 有道德的生产的一些做法 practice 在这里是指做法或者一些方式，所以我想很清楚他是应该是授权给这家公司，把他的设计授权给这家公司，所以我们选的是 B licensed 授权。那 A 选项 neglected 是忽视或者忽略，他不会忽略他自己的设计，不对。 C accused 是指控你可以指控人，但是你没有办法指控一个设计。 D enclosed 基本上就是把一个东西放到箱子里面，把它围住把它包住的意思。这个字它可以表示这个随函附上，但是你不会说随函附上它的设计给这家公司，因为这是主要的动作，它不是随附的一个动作，所以这个答案呢不好，我们要选 B licensed。
Number 2, the floor in the kitchen has become quite blank. So you should be very careful when walking in there to avoid any accidents. So there's some poor condition in our kitchen floor, some sort of dangerous condition. How did our floor become? Did it become quite slight, meaning skinny? Did it become quite dense, meaning solid and heavy? Did it become quite flexible? That actually could be a problem if your floor was flexible and started bending. But the fourth answer, the floor became quite greasy, is the much more probable answer. Because greasy means it's slippery because covered with oil. So choose D. The floor in the kitchen has become quite greasy, so you should be very careful when walking in there to avoid any accidents.
好，所以呢 the floor in the kitchen 就是厨房里的地板变得非常的怎么样，所以呢你应该要非常小心。 You should be very careful. 当你 walking in there 你走进那里，就是表示走进厨房的时候你要很小心，这样才能够 to avoid any accidents 才能够避免发生意外。我们看看答案 A slight 厨房地板变得很轻微很少量，这个很奇怪。 B dense 是稠密的浓厚的或者密集的，地板也不会说变得很密集变得很稠密，也不对。 C flexible 是有弹性的灵活的，这个更不对。那 D greasy 厨房地板变得很油腻是很正常的，那油腻就容易滑倒，所以走进去要小心，所以我们选 D greasy。
Number 3, the scientist presented blank evidence from the multiple experiments that he had conducted, which effectively supported his hypothesis and convinced many skeptics. So a scientist is showing, presenting, making public evidence or proof, ideas or things which support his idea or his hypothesis, and he has run it through multiple experiments, many experiments to check, to make sure that his evidence is not just presentable, but will convince many skeptics. Skeptics are people who doubt something. If you convince them, though, they may, you do have a point. Let me reconsider this sort of situation. Now, is the evidence therefore concrete, arguable, desperate, or intolerable? Well, obviously the answer is A. Concrete here does not refer to the hard stone that surfaces a lot of our sidewalks or makes our buildings. It's not that sort of thing, but here it means it's hard evidence. It's evidence that is hard to argue against. That's the opposite of arguable evidence. Well, that's what you say, but I think ... So that's not a good answer here because that wouldn't convince skeptics. There's no such thing as desperate evidence, I hope. Intolerable evidence is something you can't stand. That's a really weird usage. So go back to A. Concrete is sure or able to be proved.The scientist presented concrete evidence from the multiple experiments that he had conducted, which effectively supported his hypothesis and convinced many skeptics.
好，所以这位科学家 presented 就是提出了什么样的 evidence， 怎么样的证据。那这证据是来自于哪里呢？是来自于 the multiple experiments。就是很多的实验，那这些实验是怎么样？是 that he had conducted 他所进行的一些实验，所以他做了很多实验，从里面拿出了一些证据。那 which 就是指这些 evidence， 他 effectively 或他提出证据这件事情，有效地 supported 支持了他的 hypothesis， 他的假设，然后呢，也同时 convinced 说服了很多的 skeptics， 就是持怀疑态度的人，所以他应该提出的证据是很有力的。好，我们看看他选项 A concrete。就是具体的它也可以指混凝土的不过这里是指具体的，所以提出了具体的证据所以说服了大家，这个答案不错，应该是正确答案。我们看看 A 不错，那其他选项看看有没有更好。 B arguable 是存有疑问的，可以争辩的，这个不对。那既然是 arguable， 别人就不会被你信服了。然后呢 C desperate 是绝望的，极其需要的，你说这个很需要的证据不见得能说服别人那绝望的证据更不对，所以 C 也不对。D intolerable 是无法忍受的证据，这也不会说服人，而且这两个字放在一起也很奇怪，所以我们选 concrete。
Number 4. Recognizing the potential bias in the traditional recruitment process, the company adopted an innovative hiring method in an attempt to fill the senior management blank. So bias means that something is heavily weighted towards one side of an argument.Or it means that someone has a previous idea about how something should be and won't easily change their mind. So a bias in a recruitment process generally is speaking about that they're going to hire men because they don't think of women as capable. That's the usual bias in a recruitment process. Recruitment means finding new staff or new management people.And the company adopted an innovative hiring method. Now, innovative means not only new, but somehow effective. We're trying to fill a senior management blank. So we have vacancy, which means a space, most likely our answer. We have privacy, which means a sense of not being intruded on by other people or like a space that's just for yourself.A tendency means that something is going in a certain direction. It also could be used to say bias, if you're trying to say bias but not so strongly. And frequency means how often something happens. So really, vacancy is our only answer. So choose A. Recognizing the potential bias in the traditional recruitment process, the company adopted an innovative hiring method in an attempt to fill the senior management vacancy.
好，所以 recognize 是认得，在这也是认出来认清楚了，有一个 potential 就是潜在的 bias 偏见，在那个传统的 traditional 的这 recruitment process 这个聘任的过程当中有一些偏见的可能。那了解这一点之后呢，这家公司它就 adopted 采用了一个 innovative 一个创新的 hiring method 一个创新的招募的方式 in an attempt to 就是 目的是要尝试看能不能 fill 填补这个 senior management， 就是一个资深的或者是高层的管理的怎么样呢？我们看到这显然在招聘嘛，所以他目的是要 fill a vacancy 啊，所以我们看 A 选项 vacancy 这是空缺或者职缺，这个答案不错。那我们看其他答案 B privacy 是隐私， C tendency 是倾向， D frequency 是频率，然后放在这里啊，它跟 fill 都不会搭在一起用，而且意义也不对，所以我们要选 A vacancy。
Number 5, after years of playing in a band, the singer made a bold decision to leave and go blank, embarking on a brand new music career. So the singer was playing in a band, some people would say with a band, but he finally decided to leave the band and go blank. Embarking here means beginning a brand new music career. Well, if he leaves the band and he's not leaving with anyone else, at least it doesn't mention that, our first choice, A, solo, works perfectly because for him it's a brand new music career. The singer, there's only one of them. Let's check out the others. And go retail, I'm not even sure how that would be used.
Only sells to customers, not to other businesses.
There you go. C, thereby, and go thereby embarking on a brand new, no, barefoot. There we go. Go barefoot means you're not wearing any socks or shoes or sandals and so on. The only sensible answer here is A, solo, meaning alone. After years of playing in a band, the singer made a bold decision to leave and go solo, embarking on a brand new music career.
好，所以呢，他在一个乐团里面待了很久，好多年之后呢，这个歌唱的人，这个歌手呢，他做了一个很大胆的决定 ，made a bold decision， 要离开，而且要 go， 我们要选 solo，go solo 就是单飞，好 ，solo 就是单独的、独自的 ，go solo 就是像这种情况，我们讲单飞。那单飞呢，于是他就 embarking on， 他启程开始了一个 brand new， 一个全新的 music career， 一个音乐的职涯，所以我们选 go solo。那 B 选项呢 ，retail 是零售或者零卖，不对。C thereby 或者这个是因此的意思，英文也没有用 go thereby 这种用法。那 barefoot 是赤脚的，他决定要赤脚了，这个很有趣的一个想象。那当然不对，我们选 go solo 单飞。
Number 6, Scott was torn between his passion for art and the financial stability of an office job, and having to make a choice put him in a blank. If you're torn between something, it means that you really strongly want to do two things and you have to make a choice. Stability means that you have a dependable income. If you have financial stability, it means you have a dependable income. So having to make a choice between his love and his ability to eat put him in a... My brain fills this in with bind. Put him in a bind, puts him in an unsolvable problem situation. So our choices are A, scenario, which is a kind of situation, B, boundary, which is the line between two states, C, dilemma, which is a problem. And this is probably our answer. And then D, likelihood means a probability of something. And what he's got is he's in a situation where he has a massive problem. So choose C, dilemma. Scott was torn between his passion for art and the financial stability of an office job, and having to make a choice put him in a dilemma.
好，我们英文讲做 to be torn between A and B， 就是在 A 跟 B 之间陷入了两难。所以他陷入了什么两难呢？ A 是 his passion for art， 他对于艺术的热爱，这是 A。那 B 呢是 the financial stability， 财务上的稳定 of an office job， 一个办公室的工作的财务的稳定。这两样之间呢，他陷入两难，所以他必须要 make a choice， 他必须要做一个决定。那这样他必须要做决定这样的一件事情呢 ，put him in a，让他陷入了什么？我们要选 C dilemma 就是两难的困境。那刚刚 Angela 老师讲他的直觉是 put him in a bind B-I-N-D， 那意思差不多。然后这里我们有 dilemma， 我们就选 dilemma。那 A 选项 scenario 是可能发生的情况，一个剧情的概要啊，这个放在这个句子不对。Boundary 是边界或者边线，这个也不对。Likelihood 是可能性，这个也不对。最好的答案就是 dilemma。
Number 7. During the heated argument, Lance made several blank comments that hurt his friend's feelings and damaged their friendship. Our choices, let's look at these first. A, cooperative. B, persuasive. C, informative. Or D, offensive. Well, any of these could be matched with comments, but what's the situation? If you have a heated argument, you are arguing, and it's not very polite, and it's not comfortable on our feelings either. It certainly is not cooperative, so it wouldn't be A. Persuasive means that Lance's information made his friend, my friend Lance really has a point here. I'm going to listen to it more carefully. If it's informative, well, probably both Lance and his friend have a lot of information or data or proofs to back up their position, but that would not necessarily damage a friendship, whereas offensive comments means that Lance is saying some personal things that maybe have nothing to do with the argument against his friend, or it may become Lance may lose this friendship because nobody likes to hear offensive comments, saying offensive things, hurtful things. And so we should choose D, offensive. During the heated argument, Lance made several offensive comments that hurt his friend's feelings and damaged their friendship.
好，所以我们看到在这个激烈的争吵的时候 the heated argument 就是激烈的争执，当他们在发生激烈争执的时候 Lance 他怎么样 made several 什么样的 comments， 他说了几个这样的一些评语一些话，那这个话呢hurts his friend's feelings 让他的朋友感到很受伤，而且呢也伤害到他们的友情 damaged their friendship。 好，所以他是怎么样的一些话会伤人呢？我们看看 A, cooperative 是合作的，乐于合作的，很配合的，这个话不会伤人，而且这个字也不会拿来修饰这个 comments。Persuasive 是具有说服力的，有说服力通常不见得表示一定会伤人。那 C, informative 是资讯丰富的，增广见闻的，这个也通常是不会伤到朋友的感情。那 D, offensive 这个就麻烦了，因为它是冒犯的，有攻击性的，那当然会 hurt his friend's feelings， 所以我们选 D, offensive。
Number 8. To blank the world champion in the upcoming competition, the young athlete trained tirelessly every day.Upcoming means it's coming up. It's going to happen soon. Tirelessly means without getting tired or without allowing yourself to get tired. So what is he doing to the world champion in this competition? Is he going to defy the champion? Defy means to say, I will not let you beat me. Or is he going to mock the champion?Say mean things to him to hurt his feelings? Or is he going to rival the world champion? I just realized there's no pronouns in this sentence. Let's make them girls. Is she going to rival this world champion? Is she going to show the world champion that she is an equal to her? Or is she going to plead the world champion? Well, plead, you would need plead with the world champion. So this one's definitely out. So choose C, rival.To rival the world champion in the upcoming competition, the young athlete trained tirelessly every day.
好，在这个即将来到的比赛 in the upcoming competition， 为了要怎么样这个世界冠军，在即将来临的这个比赛，他要怎么样这个世界冠军，所以这位年轻的运动家他 trained， 他受训，他训练自己 tirelessly 是孜孜不倦地，不辞辛劳地Every day 每天都很辛苦的训练自己。好，我们看选项 A, defy 这个是通常是比较抽象一点，是反抗啊抗拒啊，有可能是对的，但是你如果为了只是要反抗或者抗拒这个世界冠军，不需要把自己训练的这么辛苦，所以我们看看有没有更好的答案。 B, mock 是嘲笑，为了要嘲笑他，那不用训练，你直接嘲笑就好了。那 C, rival 这个就对了，因为 rival 就是要对抗的意思，他不是反抗，他要对抗，所以为了对抗这个世界冠军，他要好好的训练，所以 C 应该是正确答案。D, plead 是恳求的意思，或者是辩称什么什么，那都不对，所以我们要选 rival。
Okay, number 9. Firefighters train themselves to put on their protective blank in minutes so that they can be fully prepared for responding to emergencies. Yay, I get an easy one. Protective what? Firefighters are people who fight fires with the fire trucks and all the water and so on. It's dangerous and difficult work, so they need protective A, barrier? No. B, gear? Oh, yeah, because that means equipment. C, measure, protect. You could take protective measures, but that's not in this sentence. Protective procedure? No, not as good as B. Definitely choose gear, which means equipment. Firefighters train themselves to put on their protective gear in minutes so that they can be fully prepared for responding to emergencies.
好，所以这个消防人员呢，他们训练自己要穿上他们的，那这个是英文常见的一个语块哈 ，protective gear 就是防护的装备，所以我们看到这个语块，我们就知道要选 B 的 gear。然后呢 in minutes 是几分钟之内就要穿上他们的防护服，这样他们才能够 be fully prepared for， 他们才能够充分的准备。为什么准备呢 ？For responding to emergencies， 才能够应对紧急状况。那我们看看其他选项 A。Barrier 是这个障碍或者屏障哈，所以他们如果是 barrier 的话没有办法穿在身上的，所以这个不对。那 B 是正确答案。C measure 是方法或者措施，这个也不能穿在身上的。D procedure 程序或者步骤也不能穿在身上，所以我们要选 B gear。
Number 10, with dishes being prepared in the kitchen, and by dishes we mean the food on the plates, not the plates themselves, various scents blank.A scent is a smell. Various scents blank and made customers' mouths water. If you make someone's mouth water, it makes them really, really want to eat that food. So what did these smells do to make people want to eat the food that was being made? Did the smells ripple like water on the surface of water? Did the smells kindle? That makes no sense because to kindle is to set a light. The scents mingled. That means they mixed together and probably in a lovely way. This is our answer. The last one is grumbled. Grumbled is something that only people can do, or maybe animals. It's to make a sound of like, I'm unhappy about this. So let's choose C. With dishes being prepared in the kitchen, various scents mingled and made customers' mouths water.
好 with 在这里是表示随附状况，所以它后面常常接一个受词一个名词，然后呢加一个分词修饰这个名词，所以我们看到这里是 with dishes， 盘子碗盘的状态是 being prepared， 既然是 prepared 我们就知道它是菜色的意思，这一菜正在厨房里面准备，所以呢在这样的状况之下，不同的 various scents 是气味，尤其是好闻的气味怎么样，而且呢 made customers mouths water 就让某人的嘴 mouth water 就让他流口水的意思，让他很想吃的意思，所以这个地方应该是香气。那怎么样呢？我们看 A rippled 它起涟漪，那它通常不会跟气味搭配，不会跟 scent 搭配。 kindled 也是一样，点燃，这个 scent 不会点燃什么东西。那 C mingle 这个就对了，就是香气可以混合，各种香气混合，那就让这个大家很想吃。那 D grumbled 是抱怨，不爽的抱怨，所以这个不对，我们选 mingled。Well,
that's it for today's lesson, our vocabulary test for November.
Bye-bye.